Last year, me and three of my friends went camping in this forest that wasn't super popular. It was one of those places where not many people go, but we liked it because it was quiet and we didn't want to be around a bunch of families and little kids. We set up our tents near a small creek, built a fire, and everything was going great. That night, after eating and messing around, we all got into our tents. I had my own, and the other three shared one next to me. Around 2 a.m., I woke up because I really needed to pee. I didn't want to go far, so I stopped just a few feet away from my tent. While I was out there, I heard something. It was footsteps. They weren't heavy, but they were there, and they were coming from deeper in the woods, getting closer. I thought maybe it was an animal or maybe one of my friends, but I didn't hear any voices or flashlights or anything. I just stood still behind a tree, not even moving. Then, I saw someone walking past our tents, just a dark figure, slow and quiet. They didn't have a flashlight or any gear. They weren't holding anything. They didn't say a word. They just walked through like they were looking for something or someone. And then they appeared into the woods again. I waited a few minutes before going back to my tent. I didn't say anything to my friends. I was too freaked out, and honestly, I didn't want to wake them and make it worse. The next morning, I asked if any of them had gone out during the night. They all said no. When we were packing up, one of my friends noticed something behind our tents. There were boot prints on the dirt. Big ones. Definitely not ours. And they stopped right at the back of my tent. We left early after that. I didn't know who that was or what they were doing in the woods in the middle of the night, but I've never gone camping again after that. Last year, I went camping with a few friends in this forest area not too far from my town. It wasn't a real campsite, just one of those hidden spots people know from word of mouth. No cabins, no rangers, just open woods. We thought it'd be fun to stay for the weekend. Everything started out fine. We set up our tents, built a small fire, ate snacks, and just chilled. There was this weird feeling though, like we were being watched. At first, I brushed it off as just my imagination. But then, one of my friends pointed out something strange. He said he saw someone standing in the trees earlier, but when he looked again, they were gone. He joked about it and moved on. That night, we were all in our tents around midnight. I couldn't sleep, and I needed to pee, so I got up and went a little further into the trees. While I was out, I saw something that creeped me out. There was this small pile of rocks, like freshly stacked. On top of it, someone had placed a plastic bag. I didn't open it, obviously, but it had something inside. Maybe food or trash, but it looked fresh, like it was just placed there. I rushed back to the tent, but I didn't say anything to the others. I just felt off. Around 2 a.m., I woke up to the sound of twigs snapping outside. At first, I thought it was an animal, but the sounds were slow, spaced out, like footsteps. I held my breath and just listened. Whoever it was, they were circling our tent slowly. Then, everything went quiet. The next morning, we found something that made us leave right away. Around our tents, someone had placed little sticks in a circle, not randomly, like someone actually took their time setting them up. We hadn't noticed it the night before. No one in our group did. We were all freaked out. We packed up without even eating breakfast. I still don't know if someone was trying to scare us or if we stumbled into some weirdo spot in the woods. But I never went camping after that. Not without a crowd, and definitely not in some random forest. A few months ago, I went on a camping trip with my cousin and one of his friends. We camped near a lake that was kinda out in the middle of nowhere. It wasn't an official campsite or anything, just a random clearing he knew about. No signal, no lights, nothing. Everything was fine during the day. We pitched the tents, went swimming in the lake, grilled hot dogs, just the usual stuff. At night, it got quiet, like really quiet. No wind, no crickets, nothing. We sat around the fire until around 11. Then we all went to bed. I had a hard time falling asleep. I kept hearing these crunching sounds outside the tent, like someone was stepping on dried leaves. At first, I thought it was my cousin messing around, but when I peeked outside, both of them were in their tent. Lights off, not moving. I zipped my tent back up and tried to ignore it, but the crunching got closer. Then it stopped. I lay there, frozen for a while, just waiting to hear something else. And then, suddenly, I heard water splashing, like someone walked into the lake. But the weird part was, I never heard anyone walk towards the lake. It was just leaves crunching, silence, then splashing. In the morning, I didn't say anything at first. I didn't want to sound paranoid. But when we went down to the lake to wash our faces and stuff, we saw wet footprints going up the shore. Bare feet, not ours. Way too big. And they led straight to where our tents were. We packed up and left right after. None of us talked much on the way home. I still don't know who or what was out there with us. But ever since that trip, I'm way more careful about where I camp. Remote areas doesn't always mean peaceful. Sometimes it just means no one will hear you if something goes wrong.